Welcome everybody to Yapping Walter's podcast. I'm your host Walter, and today we have a guest. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Hariitokyashimoto. I am a traveling dragon VTuber and do mostly variety streaming as long as it is not on the loot side, and I have a huge focus on climbing.
Cool. All right. What is the game like? I assume game. You are streaming mostly games. Mostly.
I stream a lot of games. Currently, Satisfactory, Peaks of Yore. Also, I've had several playthroughs of the Cairn demo, and I'm actually anxiously waiting for the main game to come out. And we also do some PC building simulator at the moment.
Nice. That's quite a good of diverse of games, and it's always better to have like a diverse cast of games than that's just my opinion. I am not the gamer who wants to just play like. So I know some people just play like League of Legends or Counter-Strike or like one game. I'm no offense, but how the hell how you not get bored by playing one game if it's not your job? Like if you're not like an esports player of that game, how the hell you get bored? How the hell you are not getting bored by playing that one game?
I don't know. For me personally, it becomes more or less dependent on the game. Actually, I've been a very long-term EVE Online player. I've played that game for like 8 years straight, mainly with just a few interruptions. And I mean, EVE Online is like, you basically have a second life. You need at least 8 hours in the game if you want to play it for free. So that's crazy. But I had a lot of fun. The thing with EVE is basically what fascinated me so much is that at one point you have a community that is pretty harsh. Actually, they are very friendly. Don't get me wrong; they are very, very friendly, but they are harsh. They have no qualms about blowing a newbie up the first day they join, but they will also at the same time tell that newbie, hey, oh, sorry, I didn't know you were new. Here you have some in-game money, buy a new ship. Please watch out for that and that. And basically, they will try to teach newer players as well. But they are harsh. It's really tough love. And the other thing is that it is a PvP-focused game. There's only PvP. There's no place where you are safe from it. And it is basically a whole parallel world to our own with its player-driven economics and so on and so forth. And that's basically the appeal that drove me to play it long-term, because interestingly enough, more than in other games, the social aspects matter quite a lot. If you are not able, I mean, if you are not that much of a social type, you can still play the game, but you definitely have a benefit if you are the social type, because the player guilds, in this case corporations, actually function often like real world companies, and you have the whole shebang, even with espionage, where players join a corporation to spy on them, to relay information to another corporation that is at war at them. So you even have that. It's very interesting, and yeah, that is my experience with playing one game long term. But I must admit, EVE is a very niche content with like a player base of around 20k all around. For other games, I don't know. That really depends.
Yeah, it's just I don't. like this just maybe my take, but I like this is person who doesn't like League of Legends. I don't understand how you can play the game and basically still saying like I hate the game or I don't understand that. That just went in on my part. Like, yeah, I get that some people play game like certain games or certain game like freaking 6, 7, 8, 5, 4 years, X years of amount of time. But in my opinion, it's good to have diverse games. Play like few games on a freaking per month. Like it doesn't get boring then.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people will say there's not a burnout with games. I know there. I would say there's not, but there's some motivation loose to play the game, even though maybe the game is like if the game is multiplayer game, then maybe the game is like going very well, like patches and that stuff, and it's not like broken, like a character is not broken, or like guns aren't broken, or and items are not broken. The game's going well, and then you grinded the game like freaking I don't know 300 hours, 400 hours, and then you lose the motivation, and then when you come back, the game is on a shit storm basically. It's going not well. Developers are doing ass choices with the patches and that stuff. So play different games. That way you don't lose the motivation with like your absolute favorite multiplayer games. I'm not applying this to single player because well, who the hell plays a single player game like freaking thousands of hours? Like in a year, I would say. Like in a year, nobody plays. Some people might play like few times in a year, like that. Few games like in a row, like they play through few single player games that they love, like or the games like Skyrim that you can modify the hell out of it, or Fallout. You can modify the hell out of it, but like I don't know, games like I don't know, Cyberpunk, for example, like the story is around 80 hours, 70 hours or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a game that you wanna going back to play like for the story and. The story is good. Don't get me wrong, but like, if I don't wanna play the whole thing again, like in the next day.
I understand. Yeah, I think it definitely comes down to the game. I mean, it may be not a true single player game, but. You can play Elite Dangerous, for example, as a single player game, and I definitely have clocked over 1,000 hours in 1 year for that one. Satisfactory is another prime example where you can sink like nearly unending hours in it without getting boring, at least if you like the optimization game and everything. But for most games, I totally agree that it's important to have some diversity there, not only to prevent burnout, but if you look at it from the creator perspective, I know a few people that are pretty huge in one game, but whenever they try to play another game or do different content, they lose up to 70 to 80% of their viewers because of it. And that's something that I personally was like, when I started out, pretty scared of, honestly. I didn't want that to happen. So I have currently one long term game running with Satisfactory, which I can of course, the main story of Satisfactory is like 100, 150 hours if you play through it. And if you want to go fancy and build pretty factories and everything, you can go over 1,000 hours. But I've made it perfectly clear from the start that I will only play it every 2 weeks on stream, and the other week I will play a more short-term game just to prevent falling into that trap,
Yeah, and I know with games like Baldur's Gate 3 or Fallout New Vegas, you can. Those games I have played a huge, good amount, so I know. Like there are those on those games, it's easy to sunk in, like I don't know, 300, 400, 500. It's like games like I don't know that if somebody plays freaking I don't know 20 hours, like I would say if somebody plays Resident Evil 4 remakes like 1,000 hours, I'm gonna be asking like what the what? Yeah, I know. If you have 1,000 hours with the game, like I don't know, in next 20 after like 20 years, yeah, that's okay. But like if you have already in that game like 1,000, I'm gonna be asking, play something else.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, especially if it's shorter games and if it's like nothing that you have like choices in it. I mean, for Baldur's Gate, for Mass Effect. Mass Effect isn't even that long. But for games like that, you, of course, have different choices that you can make. You can play around a little bit with different options for the endings or how you do stuff and change the story of the game and influence it. So that has quite a lot of interesting replayability. But other games, let's take, for example, PC Building Simulator. If you play the main story, yeah, fine, but you play it like once because it will just repeat if you restart it, So clocking too much time into that game would be a little bit crazy. Of course, over the duration, as you said, it may mount up because it's kind of a cozy game and you can just do like whatever while you play it because it's just like very simplified screwing PCs together.
Yeah, that's in a nutshell of the game. And PC gaming simulator in particular, I would say is a good practice. Yeah, it's not one-to-one for building your own PC, of course, but like if somebody wants to get the hang of it or the very basics of building your own PC, no, that's a good way to practice. And yeah, it's not one-to-one at all. Like if you want practice for if you want some practicing with building like PC and like you don't know where all the cables go or where all the parts go, that's a good game for practicing. I know some people have done that and they have like start their quote unquote hobbies with aka PC building from playing that game, and it's the same way. Then there's the same kind of a game but for weapons. One of my friends is a arms dealer, like who sells like for hunting
Interesting.
hunting weapons legally. Not illegal. This is not freaking so fucking this is not he's not a freaking person who sells guns into freaking war. No, like he has a gun shop that he people buy when they need for hunting. If they want to go hunting, they buy, or they want to shoot in a shooting range. He started playing a similar type of a game. I don't remember now, but like it's where you build weapons. Like they went really deep in that game. It's freaking, I believe it's gun building, something like that. And he really like he has, I believe, like over like almost 1,000 hours with that game, which is funny. And I'm like, play something else for a change of pace, but like nope. And like everybody has their taste, I know, but like come on, play something else. It's not. You can get something else. Do something else. It's my take.
Yeah, for me it's like I mostly like the variety of games. I have like phases. Sometimes I'm more into ego shooters. Sometimes I'm more into strategy. Sometimes it's more the RGB side of things, so RPG side, that is. And yeah, it really depends. It also depends a little bit on my mood. Sometimes I also just need a game, like a fighting game, where I can just smash some people, just beat people up. And sometimes I want something that is, let's say, less emotional and that requires me to actually keep a cool head. It really depends. Currently, for my private side, when I'm gaming for myself and not on stream, it's more RTS again. I'm getting a huge kick off out of Hearts of Iron 4 right now. And some good old Star Wars Empire at War. But on stream, it's currently PC Building Simulator and Satisfactory mostly, and Peaks of Fury because my climbing partner is currently unavailable, so I can't really record my series that I'm doing for climbing beginners. So I have decided, we can also do some climbing games until she's back and available again for recordings.
Yeah, and I was googling the game. It's called Gunsmith, Gunsmith Simulator. That's the game. Like, yeah, I get that. Yeah, everybody has their different. Everybody has their own mood game that they want to play, like with a certain mode. But like I said, everybody has their days, and I'm not. If you, all right, if you play League of Legends as your main game, I'm questioning your morality and your mental health. Like, that's the only game when I'm saying that, because I think every other game is fine, but League of Legends, that's not okay. And I know people may love it for, I don't know, for the characters, or I don't know, but it's shite. And yes, Arcane is a good show, don't get me wrong, but it's a bad adaptation. But it's a good show, but compared to League of Legends, well, it should be. Like, I don't know, there's like over 150 characters or something like that in League of Legends. If you cannot make a one show or one good movie about those characters, well, you're a bad writer or bad director, and you have no ideas with the characters. But like, bro, like tell me a person in comments that likes to play League of Legends. There's nobody. Literally, there's nobody who likes to play that game. Like, if you ask Call of Duty players, they like, some of the players, hate the game, but some people like the game. If you ask Apex players, the same applies. Or if you ask maybe actually Overwatch players as well hate the game, but I would say that's not as much, but in League of Legends, compared to League of Legends, but still, the same applies to Overwatch or Marvel Rivals or like every other multiplayer game. There is like a bunch of people who hate the game but still play it, but there's still a bunch of people who like the game. But on League of Legends, nobody likes the game. Like, like how you, like, why play the game? If you don't like the game, don't play the game. Don't force the freaking play the game. Don't force yourself to play a game that you hate. It's the same way, like, if you don't enjoy freaking watching a movie, don't force yourself to watch the movie. Of course, if you're like, I would say exceptions are like when you bought a movie ticket and you want to see the value of your money to be in there, and you want to see the movie. Yeah, that's fine. But like, if you're watching in a home, like if there's like a movie going on TV or something like that, if you don't like the movie, well, watch it. It's not that simple. Turn it off. Do something else. Do something like figure a new hobby or do something else. It's not a rocket science. It doesn't need a rocket scientist for the solution. It doesn't need a physics to freaking to do the solution for you. Like, or freaking wasting time on TikTok is more time valuable than playing League of Legends. Like, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing League of Legends in the early days, from like season 2 to season 10, something around that. And I really enjoyed it, but I think some players might actually stick to it just because they are used to it. That might be one thing. And the other one is, of course, if you have in the past had a lot of investment into the game, like you actually bought like a lot of skins and stuff like that, and you're like, the game's still around. I hate playing it, but I played so many. I paid so much money for it, and I you basically guilt trip yourself. You're like, I spent so much money. I I need to keep playing because otherwise I can't justify my past investment. That might actually be a case for some, but yeah, I still agree that League is, let's say, the meme that nobody likes playing League and that it has a very toxic community isn't there for nothing.
Let's put it mildly. Like I know if people don't like people. There is other MOBA games. Play them, like bro. Like if you my advice to everybody, my take or just don't play the game. Don't even start. You'll hate yourself for the rest of your life to playing that. There is other MOBA games, like play Smite 2. That's like a new game. That's a sequel for the Smite. Play Dota 2, or those are the games that at least came to my mind. I don't play MOBA games that much. I only played Smite 1. I'm gonna play Smite 2 at some point. To start to play Smite 2 at some point, but like like somebody please explain to me why the hell mobile games are so full of toxic people. I want to know, like, how like, I know every multiplayer game has toxicity, like that's normal. Like I feel like mobile games in generally are the freaking first examples of toxicity in games. At least that's coming from an outsider who only has played like Smite around like 400 hours or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
I think, with my experience, I think at least it was back in the day. It might have changed, but I still think that it applies. Is that in League, particularly if we stay with it, you have a very diverse age group. You have people who are in their like early 20s to 30s. You have older people that still play it who are 30 plus, and the people who are, let's say, at least the ones that are 25 plus, they are way more relaxed because they have seen much more in games. They have understood that there are other things in life that matter, unless it's your job, of course, but that's the like 1% or 0.5% or whatever that really don't apply to the masses, so we can overlook those. And you then have the below 18 audience. And I mean, it kind of makes sense that it is quite toxic to me because, young people haven't like seen that much in life. They are still seeking what is important to them in life. And they also, dealing with puberty and all the stuff doesn't help it at all. And then, of course, you've got that mix of people in there where you have like more relaxed people who just want to game after work for a few hours, and then you have the younger people who just go to school and basically can play 8-9 hours a day, and who have certain ambitions that are also promoted by social media, sometimes even by us creators, which I think is something we really need to watch out for a little bit as well. We have kind of a responsibility for our viewers to make clear that even if we made it, or even if we are very good or on a professional level in a game, that it is not like snap and you are there, that there's a lot of hard work in there to even get there, and that you need to stay on the top of your game as well. And they have some false expectations and think, yeah, I'm gonna play this game, I'm gonna get rich, I don't need to go working, I can basically go for the creator life just like that. And it's definitely not that easy. And on top of that, I think is also very small tension into the political realm. It's also part of our society. Our society is driven by performance, and that's a worldwide phenomenon. And you start with it in basic school. Basically, you need to achieve certain grades to be good in school, and being good in school can, depending on how the system in the country is, define your entire future. In my country, unfortunately, they force you to decide which path you want to go after 4th grade, which is complete insanity, if you ask me. But basically, in 4th grade, your grades decide if you get a normal or a higher education, and that you have that. And then you have, of course, the normal work environment, which is also driven by performance. Everything is driven by performance nowadays, and that's also a big thing that I try to promote, that people should have fun playing, and not like, yeah, I must perform, I must be good. Yes, winning is fun, of course, but if I have a very narrow loss and it was a freaking good game and some funny stuff happened, I'm not mad about it, because I really enjoyed the game. I actually oftentimes enjoy the very narrow losses more than winning, because sometimes you can, of course, learn from it. And on the other side, it is a challenge. It tells me, hey, I am not the, uber pro that can beat everyone. It's just, there's always someone who's better than you. Why do you need to compete with like all the world if you can just have fun? And I'm noticing it with another friend of mine who is actually a professional Tekken player who also earns her money with it. And for her, it's so telling if she has to force herself to compete in a tournament because she isn't really in the mood or something. She plays well worse, and she can actually be thrown out really quickly. But if she's having fun, she's dominating that thing. And she's giving people who are way better than her a huge run for their money, if not being able to beat it. So fun really matters. And I don't get it when you have like a long time that you play a game and you really realize, it's getting a slog, I don't want to anymore, I really don't have fun. And you do it like, okay, if it's like for one game session, whatever, that can be written off as just a phase or something. But if it's like for a prolonged phase, then like say several weeks or so, then change games, take a break, because otherwise you will just make yourself unhappy.
I do agree with some, but like, I don't agree with about the content creators aren't. If a content creator's viewers do something stupid, they are not for the reason. Content creators never should be they should care, like they shouldn't, like content creators shouldn't be like attack this person or send hate this, no. But if a content creator's viewer, like a few viewers or like a viewer group does something stupid, it's not the content creators or the influencer's fault. If the influencer like says like attack or send the hate, that's his fault or the content creator's fault. But if the viewers just attack for dumb reasons that the content creator didn't do anything, like or said anything, that's not his, like the content creator's fault. But yeah, I agree. Like, I agree that with most of the, like the content creator, I'm never gonna like if some of my viewers do something stupid, it's you're the stupid one. It's not my fault that you were doing some dumb stuff, because attacking on other content creator, no. We are on the internet. We are allowed to troll each other. We are allowed to say dumb stuff to each other. It's allowed. In YouTube, in YouTube especially, let us hate ourselves respectfully. We can hate each other in peace in YouTube. We can say dumb stuff. It's internet. Nobody should care. If you say some dumb stuff on the internet, like not racist or sexist or anything like that, but like actual like dumb takes on stuff, it's internet. Who cares? Have fun. It's not. If you're on the internet, most of the people want to have fun. But when there's a software application named Twitter, that's not gonna be possible, because everybody on Twitter feels like they are a hater, or they're gonna say you're sexist because of this and this and this, or you're a racist because of this and this and this, and you're the like, the fuck, what did I do? No, what the hell? And like I'm like not. I did grow up brain cell for freaking with Twitter being like, I'm never carried about, and I'm never gonna take anything seriously that comes from Twitter, because that helps me a lot, because I don't give a shit. That if somebody said I found it this through Twitter, I'm saying to them, yeah, that's not, I don't give a shit. That's not probably true. I don't give a shit, because yeah, free speech, whoop-de-doo, yeah, that's good. But like, fucking Twitter's, for some reason, fucking Twitter's algorithm recommends me like freaking the most wild things, like bombs, or and not safe for work, like the extreme material for some reason, or freaking the Axis from World War II. I'm not gonna say the actual word, because everybody knows what I mean by Axis. And someone here is German, and I'm dumbass to bring that up. So I'm like, I don't want to see that. I want to see freaking wholesome stuff. But like, at least on YouTube, my recommendations aren't political or dumb stuff. And also, yeah, I do get recommended like history stuff. But like that's because I watch that. I watch like a history about like pirates, or I listen to World War II stories, because I like that. I like learning history. Or I get recommended by freaking dumbass VTuber clips, which I sometimes watch, sometimes I don't. Or I do get recommended gaming content, which I do watch, because, well, I watch that. Like, Twitter, please, for the love of God, get rid of bots, get rid of your algorithm, because that sucks, and please censor some stuff. Like, don't censor opinions, no, but censor fucking like the most wild things you see on Twitter, because that's a problem. Yeah.
Out life with politics all day, and I want the internet to be my space away from that shit, you know? So yeah, it's uh Twitter is like a real dumpster fire. You can't say something else. Honestly, objectively, it is a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
The
that's
other thing is you always have a minority, a loud minority on the internet that you can't please. And well, it's fine to have your opinion, but guys, you don't need to hate other people just because they don't share your opinion. I feel that a lot of people need to learn that again. You don't have to agree, but you need to have um, the possibility the possibility to accept a different opinion. You don't need to agree. That's not what I'm saying, but you need to be able to accept it because people are diverse. There are so many opinions as there are humans on the world, and it's just um, better for living together if and way less toxic is if you are able to just accept another person's opinion. And what I like personally, because I like debating a lot, is to basically debate about or about an opinion that I find interesting, but I don't like to let it go to a personal level. I can be fighting for my opinion very hard, and everything, but I'll never go out of my way to hate on someone or to insult someone. I will always keep it with the, at least in my own view, objective argumentation, and not the, you don't play that game because the author of the game has said one dumb thing on the internet and they are a social pariah right now because, well, they have a stupid opinion. Yeah, bruh, the game has like literally nothing to do with the author except for some license fees. So screw that, When I want to have fun with the game, I'm gonna play it, It's stupid. This whole cancel culture is just something I really dislike. And the last thing I wanted to expand upon is what I meant with creator responsibility. I agree with you that we are not responsible for every dumb thing chat does. Definitely. I'm totally on board with that. What I mean is that we do have a responsibility in how we show to our community what we are doing and what our and how our success as a creator works. That is what I meant. So because of course, when you're small like me, it's not as much of a factor. But if you're like a PewDiePie, for example, right? You have millions and millions of followers, and you have a lot of young people who also want to get there. But if you have that reach, in my opinion, you should take care to tell people, hey, it's not granted that you will ever get there. It is that you basically communicate to them that what you have is something special, and that you also tell them, hey, it might look so easy, but in the background, right, there is so much hard work going down that you really, if you want to go there, you really have to log in and you have you focus your whole life on it, and even then you don't have a guarantee to reach that. That is what I meant with creator responsibility. Actually, Giga of Vishocho had an interview with Dan Clancy and another one that I forgot about the recent Twitch patch notes, and she made basically a kind of an after stream to that, where she kept on answering chat's questions that were not answered in the patch notes interview with Dan Clancy, of course, because limited time, and I mean, he's the CEO of Twitch, he has a lot to do. And I really liked what she did there, because there were people who were like asking for tips for creators and stuff, and she shared freely, and also she kept emphasizing that getting to where she is the real lucky part. It's the part that almost nobody reaches, because it requires so much hard work, so much dedication, and so much effort that most people give up before they can even reach that. And that is something what I wanted to get at with quote unquote creator responsibility, because from the outside it looks so easy, but when you are in there and when you try to grow and when you try to get people interested in your content, it's a whole different number. That's what I meant.
Yeah, and sorry everybody, Hariito was on mute like a minute because I obviously screwed around. He was just rambling about Twitter, like Elon Musk and that stuff. So don't worry, you didn't miss. I don't know why I don't know why OBS did that. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, I agree. Getting to like also to freaking PewDiePie. Thanks somebody for pointing it out. But like, why the hell PewDiePie gets all the hate? When he and his wife, his wife and their child. PewDiePie posted a pic where like his child and his wife and him were standing at everybody like this is like he got a lot of hate from that. Like, bro, I was like happy for him because he's basically nowadays retired YouTuber. Basically, he like I believe like few times in a month uploads a video. Like he's living his life. Leave him alone. He's a normal dude like everybody. No matter how many subscribers or followers or Twitch subscribers you have, you're still a normal being. You can die whenever. If you get an accident, you can get unalived, which is dumb. Okay, and Twitch and YouTube, please tone it down the family friendliness little bit, just a little bit, in my opinion. But like get into like the freaking the higher numbers. Like if you can get in the position where you can do that, you can be a content creator for a job. That's I would say the perfect situation. Of course, if you don't, you can do it as a side jobs. Like even if you freaking like my friend basically films the content for an influencer, but he's like, of course, he's not like the main. He's a cameraman basically, or editor at some point. But like he gets enough money from that, but he still basically does that as a side job. And I would still believe some maybe influencers do that because they maybe like their like current job, like their main, like the real quote unquote real job. Because in being an influencer is not the real job. I don't know those people. I don't know. And yeah, to some it's just maybe to some. I know the argument. They're just sitting on a computer, blah blah. Yeah, I know that. Like proof. Editing usually editing like an highlighted, like stream highlighted video takes. If the video is like really good edited, I would say probably takes, I don't know, 7 to 10 hours, maybe even more, maybe less. But I would say around that. I don't know for a fact. But like that's my experience with them, so I'm going for that. Like it feels like a work. It feels like a work. But like if you're in lucky enough to get in a position to be able to work to work as a content creator, that's good. That's very good. But also be humble. Be humble.
Exactly.
Don't be like Rice Gum or Jake Paul or Logan Paul.
Or what's the other guy that ran over to XQC? Don't be like him.
Well, XQC just watch like what he's a React streamer most of the time.
Yeah, and also he got incredibly salty because he got his butt kicked in the Marvel thingy that also some VTubers participated in. He had like from the pure statistics, he had the most advanced, most stacked team and should have won it, and they actually got last, which was such a nice part of karmic justice, in my opinion. I really liked that he got his butt whipped, and that guy was really salty about it. So yeah, don't be a sore loser, bitch. You really, really have it well enough. You have no reason to complain, and well, he just needed to be humbled a little bit, and I think that is a good thing. Because working as main contractor for a platform like Kick, that is enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay out of that sphere respectfully. The funniest
thing, he's allowed to stream on Twitch, and he still does because he didn't sign an exclusive contract.
Yeah,
he like, and I don't like Kick is basic. Like the funniest thing is Kick is using Twitch's like servers, like Amazon servers, and they are basically same as Twitch. They're using the same things from Twitch, but doing some different stuff. Like the freaking 95 out of 5% thing, or the freaking dumbass rules that they said like you can. Like the freaking, I know that some people stream like movies on there, which is I'm freaking bamboozling because that's not allowed. But every platform deserves a chance because if there's more competition, well, it's great for everybody. It's great for us as creators. That it's great for Twitch to actually start to make like good changes.
I agree with the competition in general. That's really important. On the other hand, though, like it's just my personal take on Kick, right? They are being financed by this huge company that does Lugamba for their main income, and I personally am like, okay, if you want to do Gamba, do it. I don't mind, but I don't like it in general. Funnily enough, I like to Gamba on some gacha games, but which is basically the same. But on the other hand, it's like, I don't know if you. I see it critical and see the potential that people get like
into financial troubles. So that's
yeah. Don't get me wrong. That's also ingrained a little bit in me because we Germans are like, if anything is new or if anything is something, we like to focus on the critical side and not on the beneficial ones. That comes with being the silly German dragon, but
well, fuck's sake,
yeah.
you guys have even freaking a festival for drinking alcohol.
That's tradition. That's something else.
Still.
And actually, in my state in Germany where I live, beer is considered not a what's it called? Let me quickly search for the proper words. Because that, so it's not considered drink and tobacco or a semi-luxury food. It is actually considered a staple food in my state, which is hilarious. No other state in Germany does that, but my state is like, nah, beer is a staple food.
Like my stance on gambling is, if you want to gamble, be a good person and gamble, like don't over gamble, gamble safely. But if you wanna gamble on Finnish ship on Finnish ships, because I can tell you I have won 2K from those, spending $5.
Okay.
Because those are, I don't know why, but those are broken. They are, I don't know why, but they are. I'm not like saying go and gamble on them, but like they are. Everybody that I have talked to, everybody has gone to into ferry ships in Finland. They usually won at least some from those gambling, like vending machines. But when they when they go to casinos on those ships, yeah, that's a lost case, yeah. But like vending machines on and like gambling vending machines, that like those are for some reason tuned to be good. I don't know why. I have gambled there like ever since I've been 7, and they don't regulate there for some reason. And I've never put like the actual amount of what I have put there is like $100 from when I was 7 years to now. It's been like, I don't freaking know, almost over 10 years. So I like 14 years actually. So yeah, I have won over almost like, I actually almost bought my PC with the freaking gambling money that I was saving. So I was like, sometimes, like, of course, I'm never going to freaking into the ferry ship because I like to gamble. No, usually I just go, when I go to the ferry ship, I usually go to Estonia because, well, it's the easiest way to travel. But like, when I have extra coins, like a physical coins, not on my bank account. I usually put them there, or I go into like bars to like if I have like $5 or 10 like bucks on coins, I usually go there and ask like, can you change this to a coin, to a freaking to like cash, and then they, of course, when I was like underage, I did my dad did that, and they gave the money. Then the dad gave me the money, and then I still won. and Tallink Silja and every like every other company who sells on these seas. Can I ask, why the hell these vending machines are overdue to be good? You're losing money. I know ships and airlines and airports and ship decks. They make money because everything on like airports and on ship ports are overpriced as hell. I know, but I still like I have won good amount of money. Like, bruh, like ow, it's not like I'm not a rocket scientist, but something feels like they're like that's freaking losing a business losing. I don't know, but yeah, don't gamble on like internet. I would say because well you're gonna lose. Yeah. There's like, yeah, you could win, yes, but that's like I don't know freaking 0.0.0. Something of a chance or 1% at the maximum. I would say 1%. And yeah, sometimes it you may win, but don't get it addicted to it. That's one of the worst things to get addicted to. Freaking getting addicted to a gambling. That because you'll lose your money.
Yes.
A lot of money. And if you are a content creator, don't take casino sponsorships. Yeah, they pay a lot, but
yeah,
you're sending quite an ass views. But if you wanna take an often bad game, actually I'm not gonna say bad because I wanna get that sponsorship. If you wanna take a mobile game sponsorship, take Raid Shadow Legends because they pay. They actually pay a lot. What I have heard, like one of Finnish content creators got sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, and freaking because of that sponsorship and thanks for his viewers, he basically paid his debt, like the house debt off. Thanks to Raid Shadow, thanks to Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship. So yeah, that's I know that is why I know they pay a lot.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah. For us, it's interesting to hear that how different it is in different countries. So in Germany, you have like you mostly have like casinos because they need to be state approved actually.
Yeah, same here.
But yeah, but you don't have anything where you can gamble like anywhere else unless it's the internet. That has gone completely mad. I don't even know if they even regulate that properly because given how much the advertisement in the TV goes, basically half of it is gambling nowadays, which I'm like, why? I don't want to see that. I mean, I only know because when I visit my parents, they like to, watch TV. They are classic TV watchers, that generation. But yeah, it's like weird, and I'm like, ugh, just leave me alone with that. What I am doing, which could also be considered a form of gambling, I'm pouring my additional funds that I don't need and that I can spare into the stock market. Because
I wouldn't say that's really gambling because with like if you invest in stocks, I'm not saying usually, but I would say sometimes, moreover at most times, like if I would say 55 or 50% at times the stock if you invest in like good companies, I would say the stock usually pays back. So I would say, like I said, it's an investment, not really like a
Yeah,
gambling. And if somebody wants a good and easy stock to invest, Nvidia, that's the like easiest stock, because like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, like 2022. Yeah, I know it's not really been a full year, but anyways, like 2022, somebody invested like $1,500 on Nvidia, and he sold it like 2024. He got his money back quite a lot. He earned 20K.
Yeah, the main thing with stocks is actually to stay with it. If it's a crisis and the stocks go down, don't panic. You stay with it. You need, it's a long-term game. If you stay with it for like 15, 20 years, you on average get like around at least 10% out of them, depending on the risk level you do. But it works out pretty well.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically. I mean, you never know. The stocks can crash, and some companies can never recover. So investing in a single company is always higher risk. But if you go for like ETFs and stuff like that, um, you normally have on average like 10% payout on top of what you put in, if you stay with it long enough, and if you find a, let's say, semi good point to sell them off. And yeah, but that's where I'm putting my money personally, because I basically am lucky enough to have enough to afford it. Let's put it like so. So, and yeah,
And there are like, and everybody, you don't have to invest like hundreds of dollars or your local currency. Usually with like, I don't know, at least on my bank, there is an option. I believe this is in most banks, at least I hope so, that you can just spend like 10 bucks, 10 euros, or 10 euro local currency to like, and like 10 bucks on invest on the, like, I believe it's not invest, but like it's basically, it's for like you putting it as a safe, like investing in a freaking, I would say it's retirement bank or so, it's called something like that, and you put money there like monthly. It's not like retirement bank, you get open it like 50 years late, but like it's for like, if you want to save money, like, I don't know, 5 years, you make the plan for with your bank, and then just put monthly pay there, like at the minimum 10 bucks, and then it is there for like 5 years, and then they send the money to you how long you have saved. That's what I'm doing currently, because it's good way for me to save money, and I get it. Like, I made the freaking deal with the bank that I'm gonna save like 10 years, 10, 11 years. So
yeah, for me it's basically the same, just that I have stocks behind it, and that it is actually invested in ETFs instead of a more conservative and more secure way. But it has served me pretty well, and even within the crisis, so within like COVID and stuff like that, it has served me very well. But as Walter said, you don't need huge amounts to invest. If you have like 10 bucks to spare, or 50 bucks, and if you start early enough with it, then you can go a long way. I personally started when I was 18. In Germany, parents get a certain amount of money to support them for their children until the children are 25, unless the children are working. When they're working, then you don't get it. But when the children are like in uni, or are getting some education, stuff like that, the parents get the money. and my mom was kind enough to give me like 2/3 of it, which was like $100 or so at the time, so nothing much really. But that $100 I split up and kept on my kept separated. I think I split up 25 or something around that, and I kept at it. And later, when I grew older than 25, and my parents were basically keeping the payment up, so I had some money for myself to work with because I was studying at the time. I kept using that, and I also had some a small amount of my inheritance of my grandma left that was mostly eaten by getting my driver's license. And I used these two things combined, and I mean, of course, it took me a long time, but from 18 until my early 30s, I doubled my money that I had on my bank, and that was just by putting a little bit aside and investing it, but not in stocks or something. Just just a safe plan, nothing special. Okay, you have to. I have to admit, at the time, you got better interest than nowadays, but it still works. And I think that if you just have the ability to even put like $1 aside and do something with it, it may not look much, but if you do it, you can actually go quite a long way with that. You don't need too much or outrageous sums for investments to really benefit you later on. You can start very little.
Yeah, that's very true. But like, I would say just like if you don't know what invest, just like you have a Google, use that on your advantage. And like I'm not expert, but like I said, Nvidia is a good example. Like, because that company, I believe, is almost one of the highest valued of a company. I don't know for sure, but like I heard it's one of the most valued companies in the world. But like they make a lot of money, so, and they are like I don't know, like 1 trillion or something like that valued company. So and even though their pricing is ass, they make good they make good products. Even though their pricing is ass, like freaking $2,000 for graphics card. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's for sure, yeah. Or 800, 700, etc. No, should be less in my opinion. But it is what it is, and I'm not charging. I'm not the person who is the person who puts who chooses the pricing. But yeah, Nvidia, Apple are, in my opinion, safe bets, at least to make some money back. You maybe don't make 100%, like I think double the money, but that's it. At least you get some money back if you invest high-end companies that are selling products everybody, not everybody, people buy iPhones even though they are overpriced crap.
Yeah.
Or they buy iPads for different stuff, for different some buy it for graphical designs because of the pen or something like that, or maybe some people buy it for the Apple Apple because everybody likes, not everybody, but some people like the Apple ecosystem, or they have already iPhone, they buy it, etc. Like I said, Apple and Nvidia, I would say, are good options, and there are others I know, but those two came to mind because I Apple is the freaking Apple, and if you tell somebody has a phone, they usually ask, "You have an iPhone, right?" And then maybe you don't like freaking overpriced craps are my opinion. And Nvidia they make good products, but their pricing is ass.
Yeah, I mean their success with the company value is because they essentially figured out how to kindly scam people out of their money in a way. Without being illegal. It's same goes for Apple. Oh my god, the hype that you sometimes had when people were like staying overnight to get the newest iPhone. It's crazy. They as a company from a investor's perspective, they are excellent. As a end customer perspective, you're like, so yeah. Actually, the third most valued one is Microsoft at the time, but I wonder how long that will hold.
Yeah, like tech companies in general are one the highest like valued companies. Like if you don't know what what invest, Google, figure it out yourself, or or ask, I don't know, maybe banks will tell, like some bank people will tell on what invest, or like ask people who have invested like on what to etc. You have a Google, use that.
Yeah, totally.
Use that, and like look at like the freaking like how much the company has like stock has like maybe gone up or maybe gone down, or how is it going like from like I don't know 5 years or something like that. And then just like I said, Google, use Google. It's not difficult. Or like I don't know, Google like what I should invest, or like something like that. You have Google, use that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can always get a consulting appointment with your bank. Just take it with a grain of salt what they are saying, because they are incentivized to sell certain portfolios that might not be optimal because it's what makes the bank the most money. But if you want to get into stuff, you can normally they do the consulting for free, and they also are not unreasonable. You tell them what you want, they show you some products, take the whole ask them to give you all the paperwork, take it home with you, and when you're at home, do some own research, cross-reference with Google, and check out what some big investors that are in the game are doing, and see if that might suit you, so you have a complete picture. It's really not that hard. Of course, you need to spend some time for it, but and it helps to have an economic background, but there is something for everyone. I mean, I personally don't really care that much because I want to see maximum gains from my portfolio, but there is tech-focused stuff. There is something for people who have moral problems and want to do something for the environment. There are portfolios for that like do not include anything that is made out of fossil fuels or of oil. There is stuff that doesn't include arms dealers, for example, and stuff like that. So there's basically something for everyone.
Yeah.
You just need to search it and find it, and there is no guarantee that you will make a lot of money out of it. There's not even a guarantee that you will make some gains out of it. But if you do some research, the value of your money will at least be preserved, unless you go into certain high risk things without any safety net, then of course that's a different story.
Yep. And like I said, use Google. It's not that hard.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's hard to find out the right one, but like it's not hard to use Google.
Yeah, indeed. And if Google doesn't suit your fancy, you can use any other search engine.
don't use Microsoft Edge. Don't use that. That's
Oh. Yeah, Microsoft and their Bing and their forcing AI is what drove me away from them.
Well, every company uses AI. Totally, like that thing AI will be a thing probably a long time before everybody gets tired of that or whatever. And it's a good tool, but I'm hoping that it doesn't replace everyone's job. It will not replace everyone's job, I know, but like some mandatory tasks are gonna be like, or some like jobs that are at least I would say quite safe for good time, like truck drivers, like like because like people who drive cars, airplanes, ships, army boats, and army military is also a good, like it's a safe job because well we are not gonna have like Terminator style of robots fighting our wars or go into war. Now. Yeah, like maybe in the I don't know, maybe in 30 years, 40 years, maybe we have that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, as advanced as a Terminator, I hope that never comes to pass, honestly, because that would be more than scary.
Have to terminate you.
Yeah. But I know that I have seen news reports that the US Army is already using like a kind of guard robot. So these weird four-legged dog-like thingies,
yeah.
And they already seem to have a version of that with a machine gun on top of it for guard duty. For don't know what they're using it for like a high-risk stuff and so on. I mean, there are applications that are way better, in my opinion, like clearing out minefields, for example. No need to send a human in there, just send a damn robot. That's perfect for it. That's something I would appreciate. My thing with why I went away from Microsoft is mostly because they don't give you a choice. You have Recall and Copilot integrated into Microsoft, and they don't even tell you when you set the thing up. It's activated by default instead of giving you the option to opt out of it. And that was basically the final straw for me. Why I said, hey, I don't want your stinky AI to live off of my personal data, because I find it very scummy. I mean, I'm an IT professional. I know what I'm doing, right? I know where I need to touch the operating system to disable that crap, and I am dealing with sophisticated IT systems all day. But the common user, the broad population, they don't even know what Recall and Copilot are. They don't even know what the data gathering of that AI entails on from a data security and data privacy perspective, and how dangerous this actually is. And some probably don't even care or don't want to know. I get that. That's your choice. But just imagine you have your child using your PC for schoolwork, and they basically have to write an application for a job as homework, and they need to put their photo in there, their whole personal data and everything, because, well, that's what an application entails. And that AI takes a screenshot of your screen every 5 seconds if it's not deactivated. Do you really want Microsoft to have the data, the picture, everything of your child? I mean, I certainly wouldn't.
For me, I don't. If Microsoft wants to my data, I don't give a shit. They can have it. They can have it. Well, I understand like that, but people should have their choices. Their choices to like disable AI or disable this and that and that. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. The issue with that is that Microsoft goes out of their way to make it as impossible as possible to not get normal users to deactivate that thing. You don't even have the option in your Windows settings for Windows 11 to shut that stupid thing down. You actually need a very specific and certain console command and work with the command line to get that thing disabled. And I just find that very distasteful, honestly, because yeah, if you don't care, whatever, but at least give people a choice, right? And they don't. And that's why, combined with the thing that with the latest Windows 11 updates, the hardware requirements went like completely insane because of the stupid AI, and people who had like just bought a computer a year ago basically would need to replace the mainboard and the processor, which are two of the most expensive parts, which basically means that you more or less can't buy a completely new computer. Okay, I'm a bit overestimating the price here by saying that, but in the end, you could theoretically afford nearly half or at least a third of a new computer when you have to replace the mainboard and CPU. And you have a perfectly fine computer that's valid for everything. You bought it 1 year ago, and just because Microsoft, in their arrogance, is like, nah, we have so many people that are using Microsoft, and they are all so used to it, they will never change to something else. So we just force people to buy a new PC. And I'm like, are you serious? I mean, how scummy can you be, honestly? Especially in the current economy where everything is like getting more and more expensive. It's such a scummy move, and that combined with the issues I described before with the AI led to me for like being, yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm an IT professional. I can deal with stuff, so I'm gonna ban Microsoft from my household. I've got enough of their stupidity. They pissed me off.
Like I said, everybody should have their choice and like choices to for this and that and then that and that and that. So Microsoft, please fix that. Everybody will be happy. And yeah, people probably choose freaking Microsoft the same reason like why some people play on a console, because it's usually plug and play with like if I wanna play. First of all, I don't know jack shit how to install a Linux. That's like the first problem, because a not tech savvy person doesn't know how to jack shit how to install this or that and that. And freaking installing a driver driver's update feels like a freaking solving a Rubik's cube to some people, because they are not tech savvy people. So they maybe choose Windows for plug and play. You don't need to worry about the anti-cheat. You don't need to worry about like the game doesn't work on a Linux, doesn't run it, etc., etc. Or that's also a reason why people don't choose a choose a console for that. They just want to plug and play, or install the game and wait for the installation and play. And there's only basically two updates. There's the game updates and the freaking PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo the freaking software, the whole software update, which is pretty easy. The freaking consoles tell when it's ready to install, and then you install the new update, and bada bing, bada boom, that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it. I mean, as I said, I'm an IT professional, so I have it easier with that kind of stuff because I know where to look, I know where to get information and stuff like that. And since it's my daily work, it's also like you're used to it, and that makes things a lot easier. But on the other hand, I have to say that installing Linux and working with it has become nearly as easy as with Windows. It basically works the same nowadays. So that is a huge thing, actually. And with Valve and the Steam Deck, which is Linux-based, for some people who don't know it, I think there are quite a lot who don't know it. That also enables playing a lot of games on Linux that was previously impossible. And you can basically get most single-player games running without even tweaking them anymore. They just run out of the box. And I recently had it, for example, with Marvel Rivals. They brought an update. Walter knows what happened. And it didn't take the community longer than like 1 hour to realize what was going wrong. And there was a very easily applicable workaround in the Steam forums already that made the game run again. So it's really gotten much better as to compared like 10 years ago, where you really needed to know what you're doing, and if you do one click everything goes to heck or something like that. That has changed a lot. But yeah, I get it. It's being comfortable, it's being not wanting to deal with extra stuff, and especially if you're not tech savvy, it's like mostly a convenience thing. I really get it, and that's fine. But for the more tech savvy people out there who might have tried Linux in the past or haven't considered it yet, or might be reconsidering, I encourage you to try it out at least, and to build your own opinion of it. It's definitely not perfect. It's not the perfect solution. Nothing is. But I think for your most household applications and some gaming that doesn't require anything fancy, you can totally just try it out. And the good thing is it's for free. You don't pay any money compared to Microsoft, which is like obnoxiously expensive and will only get worse.
It's cheap when you go buy a key from seller website, like I did. I put my Microsoft key on like $5.
Yeah, the question is how long it will last,
So far it has lasted.
Yeah, for now, but if you look at 2022, Microsoft announced their new cloud strategy, and they are pushing for it, like really pushing for it. And their end goal, according to that strategy, unless they change it, which they haven't officially done, is to get rid of Microsoft as being a operating system that's installed on your local drive. They want to have it purely in the cloud. So what you according to what they want is that you basically don't even have proper hardware at home anymore, and that your PC won't even start without having an internet connection to Microsoft anymore. That's their end goal for the time being. I mean, that might be subject to change, but that is what they are working on. And that's also something that I see very critical, because why would I want to be relying on a single company to be able to, live my digital life. That's and to use my PC. I mean, if they decide, hey, we want to do a update and that has certain requirements, and half the world population's PCs can't handle that, and they do it, they lock basically half of the world population out of the system. And I mean, I'm exaggerating, right? I'm overdoing it, but just to drive my point at this point, that's another thing that I really see critical. I think people are too trusting towards these big companies, a little bit too trusting. People should be a little bit more critical about them. And I know you don't want to deal with politics and stuff like that, but yeah, it's we should stay critical, because especially when it's a company like Microsoft that has like that much of an influence in the whole world, because like nearly everything runs on Microsoft. We should always question their decisions. We should always drive them and hold them accountable for what they do, instead of just accepting what they do. Because in the end, if they do what they want, it's never going to be good for you or for me. It's only going to be good for the company, and the company only has one thing, and that is money. They want to make money, and money itself has neither ethics nor morals. So if you let them do what they want, they will do scummy things. And that's why it's important to have a critical view about what they are doing, and to at least somewhat keep tabs on it. And if necessary, I mean, it's a personal matter, of course, vote with your bank check and tell them to go screw themselves and search alternatives if you don't want to deal with their shenanigans anymore. So, and that's something you can do with almost any company. Of course, sometimes the consequences are something that you don't want to bear, like if you refuse to pay your your monthly thing for garbage collection. Well, you have to get rid of your garbage yourself, you can do it, but is it a good idea?
And
I think you catch my drift.
yeah, I get that. I get that. And also, if you don't want to get Windows, don't get like Windows key. Don't get it Windows, because most of the time to activate your Windows text isn't even there on there. Like, and there is way around it, not activating Windows. So if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. You can use it a non-activated Windows just fine. But enough of rambling about that. I have a few questions to even ask, because that's I usually forgot to do it. But anyways, what's your favorite part being a VTuber / PNC tuber? I can't. I say they are the same thing, but just what is your favorite thing about being a PNC / VTuber?
My favorite thing is at the moment that I can be very creative with my looks. I can look like whatever I want to be. And also, since my flesh person's body is not that much in shape, I'm very conscious about that. And it just helps me to put myself out there and do something that I enjoy without, being scrutinized for how I look.
All right.
Also, one more thing to add on it, it's the community. You can say a lot about it, and there are the parasocials and stuff like that, but the creators themselves, I have only witnessed a lot of kindness and a lot of amazing people, Water being one of them. And they encourage each other and help each other out. And if one has a hard time, people are there. So it's nice. It's a really nice community all in all. Of course there are downsides, but there are always downsides.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And VTuber is about creativity, and yeah, that's completely fine of a reason. What? Why being a PNC? Okay, I'm gonna just say it one because that sounds like that. Why being a VTuber and not a Fleshtuber? And those who doesn't know what a Fleshtuber is just your normal facecam content creator.
Mhm.
So why VTubing, not a Fleshtuber?
Yeah, basically, the same reason. It's just that I have an easier way putting myself out there and being more myself without being criticized too much. I mean, critics will be there, and sometimes it's valid, sometimes not. And even though, especially for the climbing content, it would have been much easier to be a Flash tuber because I would be able to show my stuff myself. But I mean, I certainly could, but I choose not to. But yeah, it's expressing freedom, being how I want to be, and also I can change my model as I desire. That's if you're a Flash tuber, you look like you look, and yeah, you can put on a costume or stuff like that. But as a VTuber or PNG tuber, you can completely express yourself and put your model in a way that you like.
Yeah, that's basically true with VTubers. It's just your limits are basically what your imagination can do,
Exactly.
and there aren't any there aren't any bad ideas well, okay, there are very few bad ideas with VTuber ideas. Like if your model is basically racist, yeah, that's a bad idea. Like,
Yeah, don't violate TOS. That's the stick to the terms of service and stay legal. That's basically the only restrictions you
oh,
have. Anything apart, you can do.
and also, well, the Twitch's DRS is basically freaking mess. So you don't even know half of the time what you're breaking, what rules.
Mm,
So
true.
yeah, but like have fun with designs and that stuff. So but yeah, that. Oh, the next question is what plans or what your plans for the future are.
Okay, so for 2025, I first of all want to expand on my content. We'll obviously finish what we are doing right now, but I want to do some more stuff. I want to finish building the one model that I started building on stream. I also want to crack the first 50 followers or go to 100 if it's possible. We'll see. And yeah, I mainly will work on building my community and focus on that first and foremost. I need a stable base, and once that has been done, we can see where we go from there. It really depends. I also need to see, since I only started in December, how the long-term fun will be. Currently, I'm enjoying it a lot, but that could also be because it's new to me, and everything new is always exciting. But if I manage to stick to streaming long-term and I enjoy it long-term, then running for affiliate is definitely something that I would do. And yeah, we'll see from there. And once we get to affiliate, a basically 1.0 model. So moving away from my PNG and either go for a 3D or live 2D model.
All right. I'm quite sure that that was everything that I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks, Hariito, for joining in, and everybody go and follow Hariito in their every social medias, at least their Twitch. everything's gonna be linked down in the description. So go and follow Hariito, and yeah, thanks for joining me, and I will see you all next time. Bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye bye.